What do you think looks cinematic? Hi, I'm Sam Diggs, and I want to talk about something that's been bothering me for quite some time, and that is what makes an image look cinematic? What about are you viewing that makes it look cinematic? And what I'm talking about is the ratio of the film, and that is the black bars, top, bottom, left, and right. Which one is right? Which one is better than the other? And that's something that I kind of want to challenge. And there are a ton, and there's a ton to go through. Some of the ratios that I've went through and I've played with myself, that is 1:37, and that's the Academy standard. It was originally 1:33, and then they changed it to 1:37. It's not much of a change. It's literally so small you don't even notice it. Then you have 1:66, and that is European theatrical. Then you have 1:78 or 16:9, and that is your HD TV, your regular TV you might be watching this on, or you watch any other movies or TV shows on. Then you have 1:85, and that is your US theatrical. And then you have 2:35, and that is widescreen or cinemascope or scope. And then you have 2:21, and that's 70 millimeter. I've also played with 2:55. I'll get to that in a moment. But I can sit here and go through all of the ratios of what there are. But that would be a whole video of just nothing but ratios, and that would be very boring. And I'm going to save you the time. So which one of the ratios that I've used looks cinematic? And most people would probably say 2:35 is what makes that video or movie look like a movie. It looks cinematic, right? And well, I would like to challenge that theory for a moment. Let's go way back. I'm talking back to the point where you had no TV at home and you wanted to go watch a movie. You went to the theater and you were probably going to be watching that movie in 1:37. For the first while, you were probably watching it 1:33, but then it changed and went to 1:37. It's literally called the Academy standard for a reason. So is 1:37 cinematic? No, I'm not saying 1:37 or 4:3 is the cinematic experience. That's the one you gotta put it in to make it look cinematic. I'm not saying that at all. And to be honest with you, I've put most of mine in widescreen, 2:35 to be exact. Yeah, so I've kind of fallen into the same trap, to be honest with you. But I've also changed ratios while you're watching the film. I kind of got this when I was watching one of the Christopher Nolan Batmans. He changed the ratio on a cut to make Batman feel more trapped. I took that same notion and I put it into Conflicted, and I went from 2:35 to 2:35 to 2:55 to make you have a more narrowed focus of where you're at in the story. So I've played with a lot of different ratios. Well, some, but I'm gonna be playing with more because there's an interesting art in playing with some of the ratios. And I got this from when I was watching a video on a channel called MovieWise, and he talks about how cinema of the past could be cinema of the future, in explaining how some filmmakers, when they film a movie, it looks one way, and when you see it at home, it looks a complete different way. And ratios have a huge part to play in that. For when you're watching it at home and you want to see widescreen and so forth at that point. I'm not going to get into his video because he does an amazing job of it. So after this video, don't pause it, I'll have a link in the description. Go through and watch that. Great content. Also, make sure you hit subscribe to his channel and subscribe here. Most of you aren't subscribed. Please subscribe. There is going to be more shorts, more videos coming in the future, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be enjoyable. So, subscribe. So, yeah, black bars don't really bother me. And honestly, they shouldn't bother you either. And the reason why I say that is you're not going to go look at Edward Hopper's Nighthawks and just look at the empty glass and plate that's sitting there at the bar. And yes, there is an empty glass and plate, and there's a whole description, and I'm not going to get into that, of why that is there or why it could be there. But you're not going to go look at the painting and for it to just have a black box around the whole thing, and the only thing you're looking at is just that. No, you want to see the whole entire painting. First off, that thing is huge, so you want to see that whole painting. And you shouldn't do the same thing with a film. You should be able to see the entirety of that film, or the way it is intended to look at, because there is a difference on seeing the entire film versus the way it's intended. And just like that painting, Edward Hopper designed and made that entire big painting so you see the whole thing that way. If he made it in a different look or a different way or whatnot, then that's the way he intended. Just like a film, it should be watched the same way. So is there a ratio that is the true cinematic ratio? Honestly, I think there isn't. Yes, some people are going to prefer widescreen over the other, and well, that's great. That's awesome. That's fine that you prefer that. Some people prefer certain paintings. Some people don't even prefer paintings. They prefer different art. And well, filmmaking is art, and it's just like anything else. And you're gonna have different variations. And honestly, that's what I want to play with. I want to play with the artistic style of what the film looks like. Why can't a film go from 137 to 235 in the same video? It can. And why can't you do that? And well, that's what I'm going to explore. And honestly, I would advise, if you're a filmmaker, to explore the same thing. It's going to allow you to tell a different story. It's going to allow you to tell it in a different way. And if you go back through and you watch some of the silent films, or if you watch some of the films that are back in the day of using the Academy ratio, you can see the intricate detail of blocking and so forth used, because it's a square box that you're filming in, versus widescreen and giving you a wider view of landscape or dancing scenes or whatnot, that gives you just a wider view in general. It's something to explore, and I think that a lot of people, and I think there is a younger crowd that honestly doesn't care. They're going to experience different ratioed films no matter what. And I, as a filmmaker, I want to tell my story the best way that I possibly can. And if that is changing certain ratios within the film, then so be it. I'm definitely going to do that, because honestly, I don't think there is one particular ratio that is better or more cinematic than the rest. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it so much. Make sure you go through and hit that subscribe button, as well as if you like this video, hit the like button. I love talking about ratios. I love talking about film in general, and I'm going to continue doing it. So again, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. Take care.